Well, this is what I heard. Preppers need to be cruel and sadistic to survive after it hits the fan. And I'm thinking, really, to be a prepper, you need to give up humanity. Especially if you've been through any military service or something. People expect you to be cruel, sadistic, psychotic, or whatever, and give up your humanity. And I'm thinking, well, if you give up your damn humanity, what the hell would be the use? There is times that you have to make rough and tough decisions, and on the spur of the moment. Now, where they were right, where they were wrong, only time will tell that. But I don't believe you it's like, I heard a deal one time where somebody said, well, police officers have to be in to join the force or a police department or whatever. You have to be like a sadistic one because you've been bullied all your life or whatever. They had a big speech about it. And I'm thinking, well, it would be more on an individual basis. If you went through a military, you come back, you have your quirks and this, that, and the other, but you still have your humanity. I mean, I'm sure there's people come back with all kinds of post-traumatic shock syndrome and whatever the hell else they want to call it nowadays. But shell shocked is what we call it nowadays. But anyway, I don't believe you need to give up your humanity to be a prepper. I just don't think that would benefit you or anybody else. You know, I know you're going to have to make rough and tough decisions. You know, but the point about it is, giving up your humanity and become like Thunderdome or whatever show or what, you know, like I watched one where they was cannibalizing, they cut this woman's leg off, pretty soon her arm or whatever, and pretty soon, I don't believe you need to be sadistic, cruel, and vicious to be a prepper. I think you need to be smart, methodical in your preps. I think you need to have humanity in them. And, I mean, it's more or less like any way people would live in a normal society back in the, let's say, 12th, 13th, 14th century, you know, because they survived. I mean, I'm sure there was marauding and, you know, and slavery and everything else that went along with it, but I'm sure there was a percentage of humanity, or humanity wouldn't have came forward. But I thought that was funny that person said to me, you know, basically if you went through the military, you could be cold, sadistic, and cruel. Or you had to be, you know, lose your humanity. I don't think so. Without your humanity, you wouldn't be the person that you are today. I thought I'd talk about that this morning. Another thing, I seen people that was scared of the dark or something like that. That, I mean, if you're going to be a prepper, this, that, and the other, you got to experience getting out there and checking stuff out at night. You can't just run back to your car because you've seen something you couldn't explain. I couldn't understand that. I mean, you know, there is animals out there that probably could eat you, bears, lions, tigers, whatever, depending what country you're in, what location it's in. But I don't think that things that go bumping at night should chase you back to your car scared to death, and then making up all kinds of stories about mythical giants and this, that, and the other creatures that nobody else has really never seen. You know, I think nowadays, everything's been discovered, especially if anything of any size. You know, like something come up missing. But like I said, to be a prepper, you got to grow a pair. You got to make good decisions. You can't let everything in the world scare you to death. You can't lose your humanity. You've got to be who you always was. You might have to switch into another gear, but I don't think you have to just lose everything, your whole perspective on who you are. You know, what you believe in. You know, I believe if you believe in God before shit hits the fan, you're going to believe in God after the shit hits the fan. I don't think it's going to, I mean, you might have to make rough decisions, but I don't think you're going to have to change everything about you. And especially if you can't, you see something you can't explain, you can't just jump to conclusions. It's the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot or Yeti or Chupacabra or whatever. I mean, be calm in your description, this, that, and the other. That way you'll make better sense when you're trying to tell something. You know what I'm saying? If you've seen some activity over and across the hill, and then you run back to your group and say, oh my God, it's a dragon, you know, you need to get more info. I mean, you're not going to be one of the people that I would want running back to my camp all excited and trembling and out of breath and, you know, and all this other crap, making up stories that, you know, the world's coming in, the sky is falling, and it's a carload of nuns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you've got to be, when you take back information, reconnaissance, you've got to be accurate in your descriptions and everything else. You can't just start acting like a little schoolgirl. And if you are, you ain't no prepper to begin with. If you're hooked on any kind of tobacco, alcohol, drugs, you have any kind of vices like that, you're not a prepper. I mean, I'm overweight. I'm really not a prepper. Getting yourself ready to face all kinds of diversities and hardships, you've got to get your body in shape. You've got to get your mind in shape. You got to be in shape. You know, mentally and physically and everything there is to. I mean, that's why people go through the military boot camp and special training and special ops. They get their mindset, their bodies, and everything else ready to meet the task at hand. You don't need a schoolgirl running back to a car and said, oh my God, Bigfoot, the Chupacabras, and a dragon, and God knows what else. Hell, we don't know what the hell you've seen. Or what the hell who's coming. Get your stuff together. Don't lose your humanity. Don't lose your common sense. And figure it out to be the best prepper that you can be. Gotta go.